Hey gaming crew, how's it going today? This is Excalibur and welcome to my top 3 games of February 2018. If you'd like to see the previous month's post, you'll find a link in the description below. Please note, this is my top 3 list out of all the games I played throughout the month. It does not include games that I played before 2018. The criteria I used is arbitrarily ranked with an arbitrary rating system and solely reflects my preferences. If you have a list of games that you enjoyed, that's great. Let me know in the comments below. If you think I'm wrong about a game I like, and that I should have liked something else, please move along. This is my list, and not yours. And with that, let's hit February 2018. February was a good month for gaming. I was able to play quite a bit on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I was able to attend a private gaming event titled TroyCon, where I met some cool folks, ate good food, and won a copy of Patchwork as a door prize. I also entered a game exchange where I received a copy of Gear World: The Borderlands in exchange for Battlestar Galactica. I love the Battlestar Galactica theme, but I'm very close to hating the game itself. The third game on this list is a small card game where you're trying to build a civilization, defend yourself from other players' attacks, and try to keep your head above water. It's one of my top favorite genres, civilization building. The box explains this game perfectly. Enjoy a tightly packed strategy game that will force you to make challenging decisions on every turn, and experience the rise and fall of nations in just an hour's time. And that was a Game Board Geek entry, by the way. This game is a combination of hand management and deck building, of pool building, and the game is very small. Not too many cards, but the thinkery that goes into it, a lot. What's the game? Guns and Steel. Guns and Steel is a game designed by Jesse Lee and published by Tasty Minstrel Games. It supports 2 to 4 players aged 14 or older and takes 45 to 60 minutes to play. This is a tight game. You're attempting to purchase cards from a pyramid of cards that everyone shares, in much the same way the Seven Wonders Duel has its layout. Each tier of the pyramid is a new age of civilization, and it's a race to see who can get further along in progression than everybody else. It's a rather brutal game overall, but it's very, very fun. One of the great things about this game is that each card has 2 functions. One side of the card produces resources, while the other side has a special ability. Depending on how you play your cards, you can gather quite a bit to buy new cards or use abilities to great effect against the other players. It doesn't hit the table as often as I like, but that's going to change. The game does take at least 60 minutes to play, especially at 3 to 4 players. I'd say 45 minutes is about right for a 2-player game. Definitely one of the best games in this genre that I've ever played. Number 2 on the list is a game that takes Splendor to task. It's full of cube pushing, cards, wonderful art, and is an exemplary game. It's all about spices, converting them to other spices through trade, and gaining as many victory points as you can. The game? Century Spice Road. Century Spice Road is a game designed by Emerson Matsushi and published by Plan B Games. It can support 2 to 5 players aged 8 or older and lasts from 30 to 45 minutes. This game has components that are outstanding. Metal, silver, and gold coins, plastic cups for the cubes to sit in, and large, easy-to-understand cards. The 2 types of cards in the game either provide powers to gain or convert spices, or to gain victory points. Each player has a hand of cards, plays one each turn, and tries their best to draft better cards into their hand in order to generate the spices needed to grab the victory point cards. This is yet another race, and the game is so fun that the time it takes to play it feels far shorter than it is. With wonderful art and components, it's also a pleasure to see spread out on the table. The game's mechanics are pretty basic, But the way you buy cards from the market to build a cube generating and converting engine is rather complex. The scores at the end of the game tend to be pretty tight and makes for a tense gaming experience. And the number one game for February was also in the top 3 for January. I was able to play the game again at the same venue as the number 2 and number 3 game this month. Once again, the game is Alien Artifacts. That's right, Alien Artifacts. This is a wonderful game that I'll keep coming back to over and over again. Everything said about the game in January's top 3 can be said this time as well. If you haven't played it and you have access to it or can purchase a copy, do so, especially if you love science fiction and space-related games. And there you have it, the top 3 games I played in February 2018. I hope you enjoyed the podcast and that I may have inspired you to play some or one of the games that I've mentioned here. Look for the next top 3 very soon. Until then, game on. As always, this is Excalibur, and I am out.